Everyone, this is Annette. Welcome to my scrapbooking corner. I have pages 11 and 12 of the November 2011 Tilescapes. This is from the assembly line on the Club Scrap website. And so this is the layout design that I am going to follow, with probably a little bit of changes on there, but I will stick to it for the most part. And so with that, let's get started. Alright, so I have my cardstock from the kit, which I cut to 8.5 by 11. And then I have that pattern over there that I cut at 6 3/4 by 10 3/4, I do believe. Yeah. Alright. And I have that cut apart. Oops. And now I'm cutting my photo mat. The top photo mat is 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, while the orange mat is 5 1/2 by 4. And I apologize, the sun is shining through my window. I didn't realize that, and so my video here shortly is going to kind of go in and out. It's going to go dark and then light and then dark and then light, so I do apologize for that in advance. Alright, so that's just going to see, there it goes. So that's the second page I worked on. Now I'm working on the first page. And here I have a piece of green, like a lime green cardstock. And on there, what they did is they have a border at the bottom, and they used ink, like a lighter ink and a darker ink. And they did those different squares on that stencil. And just kind of did some shading. And it's 2.5 by 8.5. And so there you see, I'm just kind of practicing figuring out what inks to use for my shading. I do pick a few, and it turned out really good. I really like how it turned out. So I'm just playing around, figuring out which to do. Okay, and so now I'm working on it. Now I'm done. And now I'm going to do my photo mats, which are going to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then I do a blue mat under the orange, which is going to be 5 1/2 by 4. Coco, stop. Stop itching. Hey. Stop. And that orange and blue cardstock is cardstock from my own stash, I do believe. Yeah. And so there I glue it on the blue. And before I glue it down, I decide that I want to, they used a pattern, the grid pattern, I guess it's considered like a little grid. I don't know what you would call it, but anyway, I decided that I wanted to save that pattern so I could use it to to make um, a few more layouts, and but I really wanted a pattern on my photo mat, so I decided to use a stamp, which I'm not doing that right now, but I'll do that here shortly. I'm getting ahead of myself. I have those blue squares, which I also use a stamp from the kit. It kind of looks like a wood grain type stamp. And the small ones are 1 1/4, while the larger ones are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and then 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And I'm going to use some letter stamps from my stash to stamp out the word brilliant. I don't know what happened and I don't like it, or it needs to be a little bit, the letters need to be a little bit more close together. I think that's what happens. It needs to be overlapped a little bit. Because they had a brilliant stamp which kind of looked like this one. It was, but I don't have their font on multiple stamps, so I kind of used letter stamps that resembled it, and that is Love Quotes by Fiskars, that I put there. And then above it, I'm going to put, oh, here's where I realized, hey, I want to use that stamp. And I use a blue and a red. And I just kind of blue there, red there, and then stamped it. And it actually looks really, really good. And I think I did a practice to make sure, to see how it's going to look. And now I'm going to stamp it. And voila. And I glue it down. And then do it again. And there we have it. And then I decide I need to stamp those blue. And so I'm just trying to figure out, what do I want to use? And I use that. I'm using my Versamark. The Versamark, when stamped on darker paper, it darkens the stamp. So it actually looks like I stamped it with a shade darker blue than my cardstock, but in reality I just used my Versamark, which is a clear ink. Alright, so I'm going to work on adhering everything down. It drives me nuts when you're trying to place everything and everything keeps moving. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and adhere the smaller squares because then that'll help me to know where my, well, I guess I already glued that top photo mat, that's right. Anyway, so now I'm going to adhere those orange brads that came in the kit. I'm going to do, I don't use brads that often because they're really hard for me to get them spaced correctly. And so then there's that page. And now I have the second page. And I just have to adhere everything down already. Know where everything's pretty much going to go. And I'm going to put that down. I have to cut 2 green squares that are 2.5 by 2.5. Those will be another photo mat. And then I have that cut apart there. I'm going to take some sheer green ribbon and put that in the corner. But first I'm going to use the white brads from the kit and put those down the side of the journaling card. And then I do the ribbon with a safety pin that came in the kit as well. And so that is all that I do for this layout, and at the end there will be some video or some pictures to show the details of the layout. And so with that, I will go ahead and thank you for watching, and when I have any more done, I will be back with those. Bye!